Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. Of course, it's Wednesday, so I'll get to your gas prices in a bit, but let's start off with some news from the World Bank. It has upgraded the growth outlook for Jamaica and the Caribbean region. The details came from a report released on Wednesday. In its latest economic report, the World Bank says Jamaica is expected to see GDP increase by 2.3% for 2023. The last output delivered in June projected economic output growing by 2%. GDP for 2024 has also been upgraded to 2%, while the 2025 forecast is 1.4% growth. In a press briefing Wednesday morning, Chief Economist for Latin America and the Caribbean at the World Bank, William Maloney, says while the outlook has improved slightly, four key factors are affecting the region's output. Growth for the Caribbean and Latin America has been moved upward by 0.5% for this year.
There is growth in the advanced countries in the G7, but that's forecasted to stay pretty low going forward into the next 2 years. We have Chinese growth, which has become more important to our region, largely because of our exports, our natural resource exports. But again, that's a little bit better than we were expecting previously, but we're likely to have high interest rates for the near future, and that will affect us negatively. And then finally, commodity prices, while not low by historical standards, are not as high as they were a year or two ago. And all those things conspire to give us our forecast for this year of about 2%, and for next year, 2.3%, and the year after, 2.6%.
The multilateral agency says regional governments must keep a keen eye on these possible headwinds. Mr. Maloney also lauded Jamaica for its approach to economic resilience.
Jamaica is really the only one that has made major reductions in its debt levels over the last 10 years. And that's largely due to their epoch system of involving many elements of civil society and ensuring transparency in the government's program in its spending program and its tax program, and then how it's managing the debt. So it's pretty impressive what they've done, and my guess is that those skills, social skills, if you will be useful for attacking other problems going forward.
Back to the regional outlook, the World Bank says the recovery from COVID-19 is clear.
We've fully recovered the losses from the pandemic. We're now at 11% above our 2019 levels of GDP. Unfortunately, we are the slowest recoverers in the world. If you look at Asia, East Asia and South Asia, they're both about 30% above where they were before the pandemic. So growth is slow.
Some fuel categories will see a second week of declines effective tomorrow. Some good news for motorists. 87 and 90 gasoline will go down by $3.06 per litre. The cost of diesel will barely change with a 1 cent drop. Ultra-low sulfur diesel will, however, sell for 82 cents more. Kerosene will decline by 9 cents. However, propane and butane will sell for 25 cents more. Of course, each gas station will make these adjustments to their prices, which includes a markup on the ex-refinery rate offered by Petrojam. To some company news, another senior manager has stepped down from the National Commercial Bank NCB Financial Group. Senior Vice President in charge of the Group Human Resources and Facilities Division, Uton Cummings, left office effective Tuesday. Now, NCBFG published the notice today. The company cites personal reasons for his departure. Now, Senior Assistant Vice President in the Group HR and Facilities Division, Dr. Hopelin Hines, will now lead the area. The news is the latest in a string of departures from the NCB Financial Group over the last few months. Last week, it was announced that former CEO of NCB Jamaica, Septimus Blake, would exit his role, and earlier this week, a new head of NCB Capital Markets was appointed. Chairman of the NCB Financial Group, Michael Leachin, says these changes are part of a process to, quote, delayer the group to get closer to the customer. The Jamaican dollar lost ground to the U.S. currency today, taking the local currency to its lowest compared to the greenback since May 2022. At the end of trading on Wednesday, banks and cambios are selling the U.S. dollar for an average $156.24, reflecting a 41 cents depreciation in the value of the Jamaican dollar since Tuesday. The local currency is down 76 cents since the start of the week, and the last time the dollar sold at more than $156 was on May 10, 2022, when it traded for an average $156.10. And now to the remaining currency markers. The Canadian dollar is being sold for an average $114.68. The average cost for the pound is $190.03, while it's costing $165.86 for the euro. And to the stock exchange now. The JC index lost 2,331 points, while the junior market index declined by 79. Among the 41 winners were ISP Finance Services, 138 Student Living Jamaica Variable Shares, Salada Foods, T-Tech and Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances. The 47 losers included Mayberry Jamaican Equities, Paramount Trading, General Accident Insurance Company, Caribbean Cream and Lasco Manufacturing. 11 stocks closed trading today at the same price they opened the session. And that's it for the business day. I'm Javon Keys. Good evening.